calling her a vexatious litigant, pretty much saying that she is harassing Anthony Edwards and the money she is getting or whatever she is getting is perfectly fine.
Oh, know what child support is, right? A lot of these girls, they sleep with famous rich guys because they want to get paid.
Cap. Same woman, same child, but the court documents tell a whole different story. Aisha Howard initially denied the $1 million upfront payment. The internet ran with it, all the blogs ran with it. That turned out to be cap as
already got to give it to her. She's got a good coochie credit score because she already has a famous baby daddy. This week in a production that I would like to call Before You Die, You'll See the Ring, and it is going to be starring these three ladies. We are about to unpack where they failed in their avian expertise. Y'all better lock in. Before we unpack this, we need to discuss the gold digger method. There was once a time when the ballers were the easiest conquest for the ladies out on the prowl. However, I believe that the organizations have patched this method, and the girls are getting their asses whipped in court. Let's explore our first case of beige rage by the roadside. And here we're going to be talking about Miss Renner. And let's start at the top. So her and PJ began dating, but before they began dating, the girl received a scarlet letter from Deion Sanders as he had her come up to JSU and basically give his potential superstars the method and teach them about girls like her. Enter the relationship. Of course, they get it on, they have a baby, everything is all good until we get to the court cases. And this guy is not effing around with her, okay? He handles her swiftly and she does not get the settlement that she is looking for as he is worth $150 million USD. The reason why she didn't get that is because he's married. Y'all, the ring is going to stop the bag every single time. Next case we're going to explore is No Country for Old Hoes. And we are talking about Miss Howard and her basketball BD as well. Now, we already got to give it to her. She's got a good coochie credit score because she already has a famous baby daddy. They were having a good time. You feel what I'm saying? They were paramours and then they conceived. After conception, however, the texts start going green. This guy completely ghosts her and let her know that he doesn't want anything to do with the child. Her rebuttal was to take him to court, and y'all, he decided to pay her out one time, and now she's fighting for more money. And
you know what's happening? These ladies have to understand that those guys have professionals around them that hip them to game, put them on, right? Like even the same thing happened even with Eric Spoelstra. You remember before he got his new deal as a coach, they made sure he handled the divorce first, and then after that, they rained on him. What's happening is baby mamas, they got to try something else. Maybe go try some soccer players. Well, them soccer players got money, some of them. Go try, but actually, that's not going to happen because soccer players are doing the same thing. Gold digging is dying. And I love to see it.
you want to know what else happened? This guy got married. Notice a pattern here. This case is going to be a little different because the gentleman involved was already married before he got involved with Miss Lene, who was a social media influencer. So him and his wife married circa 2017. Deja and him up a maternity shoot on us, and he is full frontal in the photos, but also still married. Strike two is going to be the girl getting spicy online. So after the maternity shoot didn't work, she started to just get downright confrontational and started leaking texts between her and him all over the internet so that, of course, the wife could see. But see, she struck out because the wife up the baby with her husband on her. You see how every strike involves a little bit of blindness for the wife? The wife understands. I am already guaranteed the legacy. I'm not about to leave my bag for a chicken on the side. I need you ladies to understand something that is very pivotal. Ballers are accessible, yes, but you have to remember that they are ambassadors for America. So the organizations are always going to promote marriage. Marriage locks in your legacy. They don't want baby mama makers outside.
You know, I had to pause it real quick because you know, when people talk about sports and they say it's very Manchurian, I actually know that to be true, right? Like they showed other day, I watched something about Derrick Rose where it was some big, you know, rumor, which I believe to be true, that he threw his career because he didn't want to, you know, accept everything that the big time sports stars accept, but I'll save that for another video. Let's finish this.
Even if they are baby mama makers, they will bury you. They will make sure you don't see a dime of that money because they don't want other birds trying to do this same method. So they will handle you on the court or in the courtroom. So my advice is this. If you want to be a trapper, look for a rapper. They're not
Wow.
as heavily represented as athletes, and they don't owe anything to America. A baby mama gives like street cred. I don't know.
The wild thing is the one that tried to trap Anthony. The funny thing is that she has a baby with baby, right? But let's get into that. I'm gonna address that when it comes. This one thing right here, that's the one video that's coming next. I didn't realize. Check this out.
Said that Anthony Edwards paid $1 million up front for child support. Yeah, apparently that whole cap. Same woman, same child, but the court documents tell a whole different story. Aisha Howard initially denied the $1 million upfront payment. The internet ran with it, or the blogs ran with it. That turned out to be cap as fuck.
My man, and when I heard of that before, I even reported it. I said, "What are you doing?" I thought it was true. I didn't know. Come to find out, it was lies. What's the name? I feel like Maury Povich. Come to find out, that was a lie.
At this, Georgia just said that Anthony Edwards got to pay about $3,200 a month in child support. And Ant-Man already has paid $110,000 in voluntary payments, including an initial $20,000. So no, the judge did not make him pay the $1 million up front, then come back and say he got to pay about three bands a month. But get this, the child's mother, she said everybody focused on the wrong thing. She said this ain't about the money. This about Anthony Edwards being absent. The judge can order child support. The judge can't order Anthony Edwards to be a father. I don't know. This entire situation is ghetto. Anthony Edwards, he ain't want to be with her. He ain't want to have another child. She took him for child support. Me, I got to be a father. I don't care. I got to be a father, man. I got to be a father. That's just me. But Anthony Edwards, I don't know, man. This could be musty energy at the highest level.
Well, you know, especially if it's a son, even if it's a daughter, right? I think you should be with the kid every once in a while. But this man is busy. And you know what everybody has to understand, or you guys do. These guys say, I'm not ready to have no children. Said just like that. And what do? Let me trap him. Of course they're going to trap him. But I'm sure he's going to make sure, because he has a bunch, he's going to have all his baby mamas in Georgia. Because that's not the trap state. That's actually a conservative state, and it helped him out.
Or vexatious litigant, because that is what a judge called Aisha Howard. Now, after a judge in California threw her child support case against Anthony Edwards out, they calling her a vexatious litigant, pretty much saying that she is harassing Anthony Edwards and the money she is getting or whatever she is getting is perfectly fine. So she already had a case against him in Georgia, and she moved to California because California doesn't really have like child support laws. You can take whatever you want from whoever makes more money in the state of California. And the judge knew that she's never lived in California. So he's saying, hey, this is vexatious.
You know, the wild thing is when she was doing this, she should have moved to California. That would have been her best bet. But she couldn't. Because she was being paid handsomely by someone else.
You're doing too much. Take your $3,000 a month and live off that. You need to stop harassing Anthony Edwards about this. It's sad because the only person that gets hurt in all this is their child. And it seems as though neither one of them care about this. Look, she knew who Anthony Edwards was when she got with him. She's getting money to support her child. But what the judge has said is stop harassing Anthony Edwards. You're getting what you get. Nothing more. Stop doing it.
She's never going to stop because that's how they make income. It was crazy because I know you guys remember the video with Brittany Renner. She said, well, yeah, all you got to do. And she thought she ate with that. Like, I know guys love seeing her go through what she's going through now. Because all you got to do is these basketball players get with a basketball player, let him nut up on you, didn't know how to wear condoms, backfired on her. She thought she was gonna eat, and it's wild because Anthony Edwards did the same thing. So and also he did this in Georgia. But even so, I believe, didn't he get married? Let me check that. 1 second. Let me see. I think she said it. I don't remember. Is Anthony Edwards married? Yeah, he's married as of July 16th, 2026. So that man made sure he has his legacy stapled. I feel bad though, because your child is not going to be the golden child. His next son or daughter he has with his wife is going to be. Sorry for you.
Works in many different places. I've always heard if you live in Texas, it's a great state. If you got a little dirty dick, pause, and you live in Texas and you love getting a whole lot of bitches pregnant, you're actually in good luck. I'll tell you why. Supposedly, in that state, according to how family court works, they cap child support. So not because you make $1 zillion means they're gonna give your baby mamas, if you have 20 of them, $1 zillion. They actually cap it after a while, and after a while they're like, "Hey, listen, y'all gotta make it do. Y'all knew this dirty dick nigga had a bunch of other baby mamas. That's how it is." Now,
and the funny thing, what these ladies have to understand, she has a lawyer. That man makes what, $49 million a year? You have a lawyer. This man has the best lawyers money can buy. He probably said, wait a minute, because she was in Georgia. Didn't you impregnate her in Georgia?
I think that's a fair system. Now, there's obviously people that are going to be very, torn in between, because some people are going to be like, well, let's look at someone like Anthony Edwards. Let's look at his salary, right? They're going to be like, yo, if he's making $48 million for the year, like, yo, he should be able to pay $1 million for the year for his kid. Like, what's the point of making all that money? You don't want to do it. But now we all know what child support is, right? A lot of these girls, they sleep with famous rich guys because they want to get paid, and such is the case. I think this woman is also I think she has a kid for Future as well. So like, it's no coincidence when a woman has a kid for a star rapper or a superstar rapper and a superstar NBA player. She could say all she wants that she doesn't target niggas with a 9-figure net worth. But come on, what's happening here, right? Like, we know what's going on. So anyway, he wanted nothing to do with her after having a kid. She said, all right, fine. Well, you got to pay up. You nutted in this pussy. You got to pay up, my boy. And this is how the finesse goes. And I'm giving y'all the cheat code. Please tap in. Got to tap in. So remember I said, like, in Texas, they look at child support as, hey, listen, y'all all got to, there's a cap to it. In California, there is no cap. And actually, it's one of the worst states to be a millionaire or especially an athlete and have a baby mama, because if you've ever seen those wild numbers, a lot of it come from California. We're like, yo, they're getting paid $40,000 a month. I'm even still very impressed that Chris Brown is paying a modest amount, but I think he's established something where he is a current active parent, and because he lives within the state that's at third, like he doesn't pay too crazy. But remember, his baby mama, at least for the first kid, I think Royalty, wanted some wild amount of money. He was paying like $16,000. She was like, I want 32. And then the judge was like, how about you take 4 or 5? Or I think it was 6 or something like that. Anyway, California is a place that is going to give you the bag, right? Especially with these contracts that are publicly known. You can't really be like, oh, I didn't really make that money. You don't have that much expenses. Your main business is basketball. That money goes directly into a calculator, and they give the child support based on that. So here's the finesse that Anthony Edwards did. Anthony Edwards been fighting his baby mom to say, hey, check this out. She wants to do family court to fight for child support in California because she's going to get the bag. Anthony Edwards won by saying, no, that's not the right court. That's not the right court. Let me see. Here we go. That's not the right court. I want to just pull up the article really. Anthony Edwards court. Yeah. He won the battle. He said, no. Georgia is the right court for us, not California. She's like, no. We want to do it in Cali court. Why? She wants the bag. Georgia courts clearly are way more liberal, not liberal, but like they're obviously Georgia's conservative. Georgia courts favor not giving you some wild ass bag just because you got a kid. And Anthony Edwards won the legal battle to have child support determined in Georgia as opposed to her wanting the child support jurisdiction to be in Cali that she could get the bag. Now, not only did he win that, he actually he then gets awarded or gets ordered to pay $3,222 a month for the child.
Man, when you're making $49 million a year and only get ordered to pay $3,222, that's what he spends when he goes out to the club. This man may give more, though. He may give more. You heard the numbers he was giving her before this came up. Like, the man gave her $110,000. Just gave it to her. Who knows? He may not. Why? Because she took him to court in the first place. Man, they always think going to the system is going to work. That man would have been happy just flooding him with bread. He would have kept just giving him money. She called him, hey, I need 20. And she could have stayed in his life too. I need $20,000. He sent it. I need $30,000. He sent it. She could have got $100,000 every year. Foolish. These girls are foolish.
Devastating blow for the baby mama. The baby mama probably wanted at least 20, 30,000.
Yeah.
Let me see. And by the way, the California court ruled as well. The California court ruled that she got to stop trying to get child support in California because it's not the right jurisdiction.
You're trying to scam. They see it too.
Anthony Edwards, child support, California. Wow. So if you guys didn't know, it's important where you live when you're or where you establish a relationship and live in where the kid lives, when you are having babies with these women who clearly at some point are going to want to take you for your money. Let's read it. So Anthony Edwards child support ruling. Georgia court won. Okay, he scored a significant win in his ongoing dispute with Aisha Howard, with a Georgia judge ruling that Minnesota Timberwolves star will pay $3,222 per month for their 1-year-old daughter, Aubrey. The decision caps off a lengthy fight where the case could be heard, and it gives him a decisive victory after months of complete.
You know, one thing I want to check real quick. Let me check this. Because I want to see what that would have been. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen real quick. I want you guys to research this with me. I want to see what that would have been. I got to get my academics on right now. With Anthony Edwards making 49, 3 more zeros a year. It's a lot of money. 49 million a year. A year. How much would his baby mother have gotten in California? So in California, a strict mechanical application of the statewide child support formula on Anthony Edwards $3.36 million gross monthly income that are theoretically yield an extraordinarily high, exceeding tens of thousands of dollars a month. However, courts cap or deviate from the strict formula for high earning parents by limiting payment to the actual child's reasonable needs. No hard income cap. California does not have a fixed salary ceiling where child support stops scaling up automatically. The standard of living cap. Courts recognize that literal mathematical percentages on multi-million-dollar monthly incomes generate windfalls rather than true support. Judge caps the award based on what is strictly proper for the child's upscale lifestyle needs. Edwards in his litigated jurisdiction precisely because she sought a California filing, whereas actual court outcomes for his real world support end up roughly $3,000 to $5,000 or structured lump sums. But he was in Georgia. Give me an estimate on California. No, that's not right. It says it would have been 4,000. Hold up, is that right? His monthly income is $4 million, so she would have got at 20% custody. The strict mathematical output would fall roughly between $320,000 to $350,000 a month, but the judge would have gave her that. They probably would have gave her $100,000. She tried to eat. $100,000 a month is $1.2 million a year. He's getting 49. She's getting 1.2 million. That man got lucky. Man.
Lawsuits in Georgia and California. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, the judge found that Howard didn't appear for trial and provided no evidence to support her claims before issuing the support order. Yes, the ruling also noted Edwards had already been making payments long before the case reached trial. Court records show the NBA player began paying child support in 2025, starting with $20,000, then $5,000. So actually, the court looked at what he was paying and say, brother, slow it down. You're paying too much. So shout out to that court. The court, so he gave his baby mom $20,000 and then paid $5,000. Like he was just paying $5,000 a month. But the court even deems that, oh no, okay, you were overpaying, and they're even adjusted for that. So by the time the judge issued the order, he already paid $110,000. The filings also note that she had no reported income. Of course, these girls, like the only type of work is
taking pain
underneath the sheets. While Edwards' finances have remained under scrutiny after signing a 5-year contract worth over $200 million. It's an extension. Yeah. The latest decision, a culmination of a legal battle that has stretched into since Aubrey's birth in October 2024. Howard filed for child support in California, arguing that Edwards has substantial business and financial ties to the state. Okay, so remember, she filed for child support in California, claiming that Anthony Edwards basically lived there, right? And they're looking. So I think, let me chat GPT this real quick.
She probably got pregnant in California.
What the term?
She was at Hollywood parties, things like that.
State jurisdiction of child support. Yeah. That's what we need to figure out. Okay, state jurisdiction for child support is governed by this act. It dictates that the state that issued the support order keeps exclusive control. Okay, that's not what we want. We want the initial. Okay, here we go. For a brand new case, the child's home state, where they live for the past consecutive months, has the primary authority to set the order. So I guess this chick, remember, she has other kids. She lives in, so she really, if you wanted the bag, you got to go move to California. Right? So what probably is happening is Anthony Edwards lives in California, right? Outside of playing basketball in Minnesota. Like, no disrespect to Minnesota.
Nobody want to stay out there,
After the season, he's like, peace out. He goes to live in California. She wants California, who's gonna give her more money. But here's the thing: I think she's Future baby mom. Let me make sure. Aisha Howard.
That's baby.
Future.
Baby.
Isn't she Future baby mom too? Baby father. Okay. Oh, it's Lil Baby. Oh, never mind. Oh, yo, why are you asking Anthony Edwards for bread?
Yeah.
Lil Baby tricking on Lil Baby's tricking on hoes for 16 bands, bro. Like
He
you
sure
can get some
is.
money out of him, bro. Just leave Anthony Edwards alone. Anthony Edwards is a real nigga. Hey, so okay, so
You know what's funny? The lady said that. What did she say? Trap the rappers. Because the NBA guys got some backing.
she has kids for Baby and also for Anthony Edwards. So this makes sense. So she probably stays down there in Georgia, right? Because also the child support order she got for Baby, I don't know if he's on child support, but their situation is she's gonna keep the kid in state. So now she has a kid with another nigga. Really, she needs to move to California, right? To really get the bag. But because she didn't move to California and doesn't have the history to show of her living in California, because again, it does take some planning and some commitment to get this bag. Like, just having a kid is just not enough, right? The judge says it's not the jurisdiction because according to this, for a brand new case, the child's home state. So I think she lives in Atlanta because her other baby father, baby, Atlanta, right?
I need to check something else. Because if a person is married, does a girl trying to claim child support get less? Let me see if that helps any. Let me see. Okay, so it says no, a father being legally married does not automatically mean a child support claim gets less, but it's total financial obligations. All right, so it still depends on how much money he makes, no matter what. I don't know why the lady said, but if they have a family and they're paying for a mansion, I guess that gets figured in, and yeah, then she will get less. But you hit a 3-pointer, and you got the man LaMelo Ball coming to your team. Ball out, right? Focus on your game and stop paying these scallywags, man. I know you won't stop, but at least wear a condom. You guys don't believe in the HIV or diseases? Wrap it up, brother. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Other than that, peace out. See you next video.